Yeah, I think the comfort trend was expedited because of the pandemic. I think we're still living in that moment a little bit. I know a lot of people thought it was going to flip the other side and back to this more formalized workwear, I guess, but that really hasn't happened. I myself have found ways to spice it up a little bit. Oftentimes it's like post-work dinners or parties with friends, but I do think the common thread is still that like comfort and guys can get away with yeah, just like jeans and a t-shirt or just like slacks and like an oversized t-shirt. Um, but what's interesting too is that especially I haven't been to LA in years, but LA is all about like the like like elevated streetwear, sweatpants, sweatshirts, like oversized hoodies, and it's almost becoming like a status symbol. But that oversized hoodie is still going to be like 200-300 bucks, right? So it's like this luxury casual, right? Or like luxury pajama, like whatever you want to call it. It's really interesting, and I don't disagree with your friend at all. New York, it's a little bit different. New York, the pace and also the work environment doesn't cater to that type of apparel. Although you'll see a lot of people with that, but New York, I would say, is a little bit more buttoned up. But I wouldn't say it's like formal. It's obviously New York. You have like all different types of people, but walking through Soho, I'd say it is a little bit more formal. It's a lot more formal than the like West Coast expensive PJ vibe, but it's not as buttoned up as I'd say we were like 5-7 years ago, right? With like the big J. Crew heyday and guys wearing like three-piece suits and just suiting up and you know, the tapered pants and the tailored suits. Like suiting is interesting these days, especially for men, because again, like
What
it's
what
not
is
that
interesting, you said?
suiting. That's a good example. Like
Oh,
it used to be
you
very
said
like tailored.
duding?
Suiting, suiting,
This is a term
suits.
called duding.
No, suiting,
Oh, suiting. Okay.
suiting. Men's wear like suits, like formal
Okay.
wear. But like for the past like, I don't know, 15, 20 years or so, it's been like very tailored suits, right? Slim pants, maybe showing some ankle, showing that sock. And now it's quickly, I'd say quicker than normal, moving towards a more relaxed fit and like a straight leg and a little bit more oversized, right? Um, Still showing some ankle, but maybe a bit more extreme. Now uh, I'm just describing my wedding suit, but it's quite
Oh, yeah,
nice.
yeah. Yeah.
It's quite nice to just feel a little bit more comfortable, but it still looks good, right? It's still a tailored suit, but it's not like form fitting. You know, it's not like skin tight, which most, especially menswear, was maybe what like 10-15 years ago. Which again is a nice change, to just have a little bit more room and feel a little bit more comfortable. And by no means again is it like baggy or saggy. It's still tailored, but it's just a little bit more room to move. Um, and yeah, a little bit more like I feel like the Japanese vibes of that, just kind of like loose fitting, but still cut really nicely, still using great materials, but just having room to move around.
See,
Both of
here's
those
what
things
I'm
are
curious
possible.
because I
Mm,
see that trend too, that kind of
hmm
Asian influence. What I'm
hmm
curious about is if there's a correlation between the rise of K-pop and
Oh,
the fashion that's a little bit more breathable and Asian inspired.
interesting. I think I think we've been inspired by, I mean, obviously Asian culture for for a long time now, but specifically like Japanese culture. So like the Japanese denim craze has been around for decades. You know, after a lot of the denim manufacturing in the States left, a lot of the like Japan manufacturers picked up where we left off. And Americana fashion has been huge in Japan for a while now. But yeah, I feel like our cultures have been going back and forth for decades now. And I feel like there's always been something there, but maybe because the rise of comfort and kind of loosening our belts a little bit and
Yeah.
getting a little bit wider pant and a little bit baggier shirt, um, that caters itself to more of a Japanese centered vibe, right?